Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another JVS movie review. Today, we are bringing you a review of Blumhouse Productions' latest film, You Should Have Left, starring Kevin Bacon, Amanda Seinfeld. I always say Seinfeld, it's Seinfeld. I don't know why I get that girl's name wrong, because I actually like her as an actress, but that's what starts in this movie. Let's give you a quick description of this movie. Strange events plague a couple and their young daughter when they rent a secluded countryside house that has a dark past. Now, quickly give a backstory on You Should Have Left. This movie was actually supposed to be released in the theaters. This is one of Blumhouse's late summer movies, if I'm not mistaken, early summer, late summer films. This was going to be slotted in for Blumhouse there. And then everyone knows what happened around the world, and they decided to drop this on VOD. And let me first off by saying, if you love Blumhouse films, you're gonna like this one too. If you hate Blumhouse films, you're not gonna like this one either. But let's quickly get into everything about this film. First, let's start off. It's beautifully shot. It looks amazing. The score of it is amazing. It's amazing what Blumhouse Productions has been able to pull out with these micro budgeted horror thriller type films. I think at this point they've set a standard, and this film to me fits right into their standard. We've seen them drop below their standard in certain movies. I want to say I believe they did The Hunt, and I did not like that movie at all. But this to me was kind of a return of form for them, in a sense how everything worked, kind of up there with Invincible Man, how just everything just tended to work really well. And then the cast between Amanda and Kevin, great. Like, their chemistry is believable in this film. Kevin Bacon, going back to me, either Footloose, which a lot of people want to go back to me, in this genre, it kind of goes back to Stir of Echoes. I think Kevin Bacon does a great job in these horror thriller type films when he's given the opportunity to. And in this one, it is no different. This film is very reminiscent of, at times, Red Rose. If you remember the old Stephen King miniseries slash type of a movie, it kind of reminded me of that, with the way the house is a very much main character in this plot. And it's creepy. This movie is extremely creepy. It really works up the creepy factor in it. Now, granted, does it pay off well? Possibly not. Does it do everything great? Not necessarily, but it really works well when it attempts to be small. I think when it attempts to expand its plots, its plot points is where it struggles a little bit. If you kept it as a simple ghost haunted house type story, I think it would have worked a lot better. But unfortunately, they increased the scope in this movie, and then they added things in the movie that I don't want to go into too much detail, because I do want you to check it out. But they added things in the movie that were unnecessary. I mean, if we're going to deal with relationship tension, I think it's a better way to do it in this type of setting than they did it. And in a way, it takes out an actor completely from the film, which is unnecessary, because I think that could have led to this film being even better. But again, the way the story moves, we get Amanda, who plays this actress, and Kevin plays a screenwriter or a writer, and something happens. We don't get at the beginning much detail of what happens, but we see through the progression of the story that he has a very dark secret that he is keeping. Amanda clearly knows part of the secret, and we're not really told what that part of the secret is. It's kind of lingering on in the movie, especially with their young daughter, about Kevin not wanting to tell her exactly his past yet. And it leads to a lot of the family drama and discord between the couple. And it kind of works. I think his secret in this movie, when it's revealed, though, unfortunately, it's not a big secret. When it's revealed, you kind of see it coming a mile away. But just the buildup of it really helped progress the story along. Unfortunately, it is hard to work a plot like this if you have too many holes that you're trying to cover up. And in this one, it's way too many holes that we're trying to cover up. I think at times they should have focused more on the story of the house than they did in this film. If they would have focused on that story of House, it builds up the greatness of a ghost story. They never do that. But instead, you get a solid performance by Kevin Hart. Amanda, we get a really solid performance from her. The direction is pretty good in this film. The cinematography is pretty good in this film. The score is really, really good in this film. This is a notch above the B type horror movies you get released during quarantine. This is clearly a Blumhouse picture. Once you see it, you're going to clearly see that this was set up for theaters for it to be released. So check it out. You should have left. Out of a 10, I'm going to give it, and this is a horror movie scale to me because horror movies are graded on a sliding scale. Horror movie scale, I'm giving it a 6 out of 10. 6.5 out of 10, I'm going to say. 6.5 out of 10. It is not that, it's not great in any way, shape, form, or fashion, but it builds up enough tension to get it through. Granted, they did not nail the ending like you wanted it to be nailed or that it should have been nailed, but the tension was built up just enough for it to get past. So, this has been another JVS movie review. You should have left. I don't know. I know it's on VOD. I don't think a streaming service has actually picked this up, but if you have Apple streaming, if you have Amazon streaming, any streaming service where you can rent a film, rent it, check it out. I think you'll like it. Peace, people.